Our story this week is Anansi and the Moss-Covered Rock. Once upon a time, Anansi the spider was walking through the forest when something caught his eye. It was a strange moss-covered rock. "How interesting," Anansi said. "Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?" Boom! Everything went black and down fell Anansi. He was senseless. An hour later, Anansi woke up. His head was just spinning round and round. He wondered what had happened. "I was walking along the path when something caught my eye, and I stopped and I said, 'Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?'" Kaboom! Down he went again. But this time, he woke up an hour later. He knew something was happening. "Aha," Anansi said. "This is a magic rock. And whenever anyone comes along and says those magic words, 'Isn't this a strange,' down they will go." "This is a good thing to know," said Anansi, "and I know just how I'm going to use it." So Anansi went walking through the forest until he came to the lion's house. Lion was sitting on his porch, and at his feet was a great pile of yams. And boys and girls, yams are like sweet potatoes. If you're not sure, you ask the adult in your house to show you how a sweet potato looks. Anansi loved yams, but he was just too lazy to dig for them himself. So he said to the lion, "Hello, lion. It's a very hot day. Don't you think so?" The lion said, "Oh yes, Anansi, I think so. It's terribly hot." "I'm going for a walk in the cool forest," said Anansi. "Would you like to come?" The lion said, "I certainly would." So Lion and Anansi went walking through the forest. And after a while, Anansi led Lion to a certain place. "Lion, do you see what I see?" "Oh yes, Anansi," said the lion. "Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?" Kaboom! Down fell the lion. Anansi ran back to Lion's house and made off with all of the lion's yams. An hour later, Lion woke up. His head was spinning round and round, and Anansi was nowhere to be found. And when the lion got home, he found that every single one of his yams were gone, and so was Anansi. The lion was so sad, but Anansi was very happy. He couldn't wait. He wanted to play his trick again. So one more time, Anansi went walking through the forest. This time he stopped at the elephant's house. An elephant was sitting on the porch. At Elephant's feet was a great big pile of bananas. How many of you like bananas? Anansi loved bananas too, but he was too lazy to go and pick them for himself. So he said to the elephant, "Hello, elephant. Isn't it hot today?" Oh, the elephant agreed, "It is." "I'm going for a walk in the cool forest," Anansi said. "Would you like to come?" "Oh, that sounds nice," said the elephant. "Thank you for inviting me, Anansi." So Anansi and Elephant went walking through the forest. After a while, Anansi led Elephant to a certain place. Elephant, look, look. Do you see what I see? Elephant looked. Oh, yes, I do. Isn't that a strange moss-covered rock? Kaboom! Down fell the elephant. Anansi ran back to Elephant's house and made off with all of his bananas. An hour later, Elephant woke up. His head was just spinning round and round. Anansi was nowhere to be found. And when he got home, he found that every single one of his bananas was gone, and the elephant was so sad. But Anansi was very happy. He couldn't wait to play his trick again. So he played it on the rhinoceros. He played it on the hippopotamus. He played it on the giraffe and the zebra. He played it on every single animal in the forest. But all this time, watching from behind the leaves, was Little Bush Deer. Little Bush Deer is small and very shy and very hard to see, so she watched Anansi play his wicked trick again and again on all of those other animals. But Little Bush Deer decided it was time to teach Anansi a lesson. So Little Bush Deer went deep into the forest to where the coconut trees grow. She climbed a coconut tree and threw down a great many coconuts. She carried those coconuts home and put them in a basket and set them on her porch. Then she sat down beside them just to wait. In a little while, along comes Anansi. Anansi's eyes lit up when he saw Little Bush Deer's coconuts. Anansi loved coconuts. How many of you like coconuts? Okay, me too. He loved to eat the tender white coconut meat and drink that sweet coconut milk that was inside. But he was much too lazy to gather coconuts for himself. Instead, he said, "Hello, Little Bush Deer. It is so hot today." Little Bush Deer smiled. "It is hot, Anansi. I'm going for a walk in the cool forest. Would you like to come?" Little Bush Deer said, Yes, I would." So Anansi and Little Bush Deer went walking through the forest. After a while, Anansi led Little Bush Deer to a certain place. Uh-oh. "Little Bush Deer, look over there, look over there. Do you see what I see?" Little Bush Deer knew all about Anansi's trick. She looked. "No, Anansi, I don't see anything." "You must see it. Look again. Look carefully." Little Bush Deer looked again. No, I don't see anything." Anansi began to get angry. "You must see it. Look over here. Look right here where I'm pointing. Do you see it now?" Little Bush Deer said, No. Anansi stamped his legs. "You see it. You just don't want to say it." Little Bush Deer said, "Say what?" "You know." "Is that what I'm supposed to say?" "Yes," said Anansi. "All right then, I'll say it to make you happy." "You know I will," said Little Bush Deer. "There, I said. Are you happy?" "No," Anansi shouted. "You're not supposed to say you know." "Well, what am I supposed to say?" You're supposed to say, "Isn't that a strange moss-covered rock?" Kaboom! Down went Anansi. Little Bush Deer ran and got all of the other animals. Together they all went to Anansi's house and took back all of their good things that he had stolen from them. An hour later, Anansi woke up and his head was spinning around and around. Little Bush Deer was nowhere in sight. And when he got home, he found his house was just as empty as it was before. But if you think Anansi learned his lesson, sorry, you're mistaken, because he is still playing tricks to this very day. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our Storytime book. I am Carolyn Lloyd from Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, Charlotte, North Carolina.